Salutations everyone, this is Razor here with another Marvel Rivals video, here to talk about the best role in the entire game. It's support, it's strategist, it's healer, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the best role in the game. It's the most important role, I would say, in the game. I mean, you do want all three on your team. You really need to have a tank, and you need to have a healer, and you probably want some damage. But if you were to forego any of them, it shouldn't be healer, because everyone's going to be taking damage, and the only way to heal that is with healers. I don't think there are any characters that can be healed in this game without a healer being on their team, because obviously the healers heal, and there's also some team ups that give some characters some passive healings, but those characters are, I believe, all healers that create that team up. So like I've said before, if you were to go, do I want only one tank or only one healer? You only want one tank, because if you lose that healer and the enemy team has two, sorry, you're gonna lose, because I'm gonna clap on you. I'm gonna clap on you with my icicles when I'm Luna Snow, or I'm gonna throw a bunch of spores at you as Mantis. And I think those are the top two supports in the game. Obviously, we have Invisible Woman now coming out, so her kit looks like it does a lot, but we'll still have to wait and see if she's going to be an incredible character or not. Won't know for a little bit, but I can safely say that when it comes to the strategists in Marvel Rivals, the best are Luna Snow and Mantis. Cloak and Dagger are serviceable, and they got some buffs in the latest patch. And Rocket can heal more than any other character. He has a higher heal ceiling, but he can't do that. He can't clap an Iron Man and a Storm out of the sky every single fight, and that's what I do. That's what I do. If you're worried about all the Iron Mans that you see, he's like, I think he's the 5th most picked DPS in the game at the lowest levels, and even at the higher no, I think he's 3rd most picked at the lower levels, and at the higher levels he's 5th most picked. So we've all seen a lot of Iron Man. He's got a crazy ult. He's, kind of hard to hit for some people, hard to dive at the very least. But Luna, I see an Iron Man, and I go literally easy clap, because I just got to clap at him, and he's gone. He's not going to be able to dodge it. He's not going to be able to fall back to the ground and hurry around cover. He's just, if he's in the sky and I got my ice clap on lock, then it's over for him. It's straight up over. And if you're worried about, looks like Storm's going to be the new meta because she got a ton of buffs, it's the same story. It's literally the same story. She's flying up in the air, doesn't matter. Clap, clap, clap. You're out of here. It's an incredible, DPS move that obviously also heals. It pierces. It's incredible if you need burst healing on a single character. That is low, but it's also great at chokes for knocking bitches out of the sky. We got the CC element for Luna with our snowball, which, it's a bit of a skill shot. It's going to be hard for some to hit, but hit it on a Groot and you can focus and he's dead. Hit it on a Spider-Man that's flanking, little harder to do because of how fast that guy is. It's much easier to just throw some icicles at him. That's usually how I deal with him. We all know Spider-Man can be a bit of an issue, and Luna is pretty good at dealing with it. And Mantis, can stun him, but her stun is it's a bit finicky, and it's easy to dodge if you're trying to bait it out. But look at these Skyward losers. They're getting the clap. It's over. It's over for them. Supports do more damage and get more kills than most DPS in the game. And yeah, Luna got a nerf to her ultimate, and Mantis got a nerf to her passive. But that does not really affect their raw ability. And Rocket, he has a good team up, obviously, with the infinite ammo for Punisher and for Winter Soldier, and that's fine and dandy, and he can out-heal any other support in ideal circumstances. He for me, I do more healing per 10 minutes with him by quite a large margin, but he also does the least amount of damage. Jeff, I know he's the most popular character in the game. He's the most picked character in the game throughout, both console and PC in quick play. And I believe in comp at the lower levels as well. I would not recommend playing Jeff. He can't do enough. People think that his ultimate's really good, and it can be. It's quite niche. You have to obviously have somewhere to chuck them to kill them. Off the edge. You can't be stopped or killed or countered any sort of way. And I believe there's at least 11 counters to Jeff's ult if you take a look at everybody's kit. One which a lot of people sleep on is Cloak and Daggers, or Cloak's ability, I should say, to enshroud everybody in darkness and make them immune to that kind of CC or damage for a very brief amount of time. And with Jeff, you can time it perfectly because he's got the sound cue, and you can time it up. It's going to be the same timing every single time. So, that can be nice for Jeff, and you can pull them all off the point. You don't actually have to even be off of the point. All you do have to do is swallow them, and they don't count as being on the point, which I learned winning a game doing just that. And it's great. He's fun, and he's super cute, and I'm not going to tell anybody not to play him, but I do think he is the weakest support in the game. He definitely can't do as much heals as any of the others, and while his damage and poke is pretty good, he's not going to outkill Luna or Mantis. And I have to, wait a bit to judge to see what Invisible Woman can do as far as her heals and damage can go. But this is a prototypical game here for me. I go 24-2 as Luna Snow. MVP, of course, because the best healer usually gets it, especially since not everyone picks healers. But look at that. I got more KOs than anybody in the lobby. I got more final hits than anyone in the lobby, and I got more heals than anyone in the lobby. And that's a prototypical game for Luna or Mantis, leading the lobby in both KOs and heals. It's not really that hard. It's not that's something that's like, it's going to happen every once in a while, or only if they're playing this, or only if they're not playing that. It's pretty consistent. And if you care about winning, or if fun to you is winning, you should pick healer. I think it is the best way to go. But if you want to play tank, I would not say you shouldn't, because most people don't play tank. You're gonna have a much easier time finding people to fill as a healer, or just pick healer in the outright of a game. But if you're a DPS and you're not crushing it, or you are trying some tanks and nothing's clicking with you right now, I would strongly recommend support. Or if you want to take advantage of this early game, get one of the higher rankings that you think you might be able to get, and then coast off of that for a while. I would say strategist is the easiest way to do that, because duelist is going to be the hardest to do. Just not because those characters are hard. They aren't. DPS characters are always historically the easiest characters to play, and the characters that get the least amount of flack, or players that get the least amount of flack, because they're the ones that are usually complaining. We all know this. This isn't news. But it's going to be just easier for tanks and supports to level up, because you're always going to have DPS on your team, and if you can play a good tank or a good healer, you're going to have a higher win percentage than the average player. That's just straight up facts. That's just math. That's just how it's going to work out. And if you pick DPS because you want to get kills and that's super satisfying, pick a healer. Pick Luna Snow. Pick Mantis. You're going to get more kills than you will as a duelist. Unless you're really good at duelists, in which you probably aren't listening to me saying that you should maybe pick tank or healer because you know that you're good as a duelist. And you're probably not watching this video anyway. Who am I kidding? Because I'm not a typical DPS guy. Not a lot of my content is DPS, although I'll try to cover as much as I can. But I'm telling you guys, picking Luna or Mantis, you're gonna get more kills than you are trying to figure things out with Punisher or Iron Man. I mean, maybe if you're a really good Mantis and people haven't really figured out that she's a dangerous thing that you have to worry about, then yeah, you're probably sitting pretty. You're probably doing super well right now. Luna's got a crazy good ultimate. Obviously, it did get a nerf in the latest patch, but that doesn't make it a bad ult. Just not as good as it was before. And Mantis has a pretty decent ult. I wouldn't say as good as Luna's. And, looks like Invisible Woman's is going to be pretty good. Rockets it can be great, but it's kind of just more of a win now button. Whereas like Luna and Mantis can get you out of a sticky situation, or Invisible Woman's. Those are counter ults to the enemy ults. If you're really worried about the Punisher throwing out his super mega ultra machine guns, a support ult can stop all that. Heck, even a Jeff, pick him up, toss him far away. That's a decent trade if you had no answer to it, because even if you don't kill him, you took a lot of time off of his clock and then put him somewhere he didn't want to be. But guys, if you want to get kills, it's just going to be better as support, as a Luna, as a Mantis. I wouldn't say they're super crazy hard characters to play. If you're looking to just do a bunch of healing, you're trying to solo heal and just stay alive, Rocket is great because he can do a lot of healing, more so than any of the other supports. But also, that dude can climb up walls, he can float in the sky, and it's just really hard to pin down, and has some pretty good team-up capabilities. But you're almost never going to be hitting your primary fire as Rocket Raccoon, because you're just going to be constantly healing because your team's going to need it, and your heals are going to take a little bit of time, so you want to stack those up, especially if, say, you have like 2 tanks that are being really, really aggressive, and so you just pump them full of healing, get your ult up really, really quickly. Things are going to go great for you. But the ability, if you want to get kills, Squirrel Girl is not the answer. Adam Warlock even can be pretty good, do pretty good damage, against long defensive chokes. He can do pretty good at just spraying his secondary charge fire. Obviously, he has the ability to resurrect, so that can be super duper strong. Just, wait in the back. You hear them pop an ult. You go to a safe corner. You pop your ult. Your teammates die. All you have to do is walk over. They don't, res instantly. You have a window when that ult is going to resurrect somebody, and you just kind of have to, you can ult in a safe corner and then walk to where your radius starts hitting your teammates, and they all get resurrected, and does a great team up, obviously, with other Guardians of the Galaxy that can self-res themselves just like Adam Warlock can. So sometimes if you're like, man, I really like being Jeff, or I'm really doing well with Luna or Mantis, if you have other Guardians on your team that you can resurrect with Adam Warlock sometimes can be the better pick, especially if, that Star-Lord on your team is just that good, or you just want to make sure to keep your Mantis up at all times because they have a magic or somebody that's, a really strong dive unit coming at you. It's just the DPS, all they can do is damage. And yeah, they have some of the strongest ults and can do more, triple, quad, pentakills than most of the supports. I'm still doing far better as Luna, as Mantis, than a lot of the DPSs are. Every single game where I'm picking, at the very least, Luna or Mantis, sometimes Cloak and Dagger, sometimes Adam Warlock, but I tend to stay away from Jeff. But if I'm picking one of these 2 supports, I'm always out KOing at least 3 of the DPS in the lobby. There's typically going to be between 5 and 6, sometimes 7 DPS in any single lobby. And if you pick Luna or Mantis, you're going to outkill most of the DPS in the lobby. And that's value, because you're also healing. You should be healing. I've seen at least 2 supports in my games that have less than 1,000 healing at the end of a game. I don't care if that game was only 5 minutes. If you didn't do that, you weren't playing the character right. So you don't have to sacrifice healing or damage to do the other. Luna is great at kiting, characters around, like this Thor. A dive tank. He should just run right at me, but I could skate away to a safe distance, freeze him, then start applying those icicles, and there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do to stop me because he doesn't have the damage. He doesn't have the range. Even if he goes into his, Thunder God Warlord mode, there's not a lot that he can do to stop me. If he goes in that mode, that's an easy freeze and I can get away. Or as Mantis, I can stun. Or Jeff, I can go underground up a wall, get away, and just pick at him from afar. Same with Captain America, not much range there. Venoms aren't going to do a ton of damage, but they're going to survive a lot longer, compared to some of the other tanks. They can do well. Venom did get a buff to his ultimate, because it did. I don't think I ever died to the Venom ultimate, and I've been hit by it dozens of times. But there's just things that you can do with support that deal with issues that DPS can't do. Not every DPS can deal with Iron Man or Storm or a Scarlet Witch activating her ultimate. I pop the icicle, boom, boom, boom. Even if you have no other teammates shooting with you, you should be able to kill her if you time it correctly. And if you get some sort of help, after 2 icicles, she should be dead. And with the ability to freeze, that can really stop a lot of big ultimates from getting as much value as they should be. Mantis is and Adam Warlock are great at just sitting in the back, getting some free heals. Even Jeff has a pretty good distance on his heals, and his bubbles do great. You can self-heal yourself with those Jeff bubbles and get a little bit of a speed boost. Sometimes I'll use that. I mean, you can use that to get to the point faster, coming right out of spawn, or when you're, running away from a Venom jumping right at you. But look at this. Easy clap, easy clap. I mean, Winter Soldier's not going to even do that consistently against the tank, but, Luna is just, she's going to be better in those cases. Sure, she's not going to pop off like a Psylocke can, or like, Magics are consistently doing, but her ultimates are going to stop a lot of their ultimates, and she's going to usually lead the lobby in kills and heals. I am consistently all the time. And look, I'm not an amazing player. There's nothing that I do that other people can't replicate. I'm a bit more, compatible with your regular person's play style or how things they should be doing. This is all easy, replicatable kind of stuff. And if you're having fun losing on DPS, that's fine. You're not subscribed to this channel anyway, so why should I care? If you want to win, it's simple. Pick a tank, pick a support. But, if you want to get kills, tank it's a bit harder if you're solo tanking. But if you're a support, you're going to outkill most DPS players most of the time. And you're going to do a bunch of healing and have an ultimate that is going to get your guaranteed value. Not every ult is going to do that as consistently as Luna's, as Mantis's, as Adam Warlock's is a bit more situational, as is Jeff. But they're both very strong. And Invisible Woman is kind of in between consistent and situational, to where she can do a lot of things that other characters can't do. But here, look again, 29-3, more KOs than anyone on the enemy team, and everyone but our tank. I lead the lobby in assists. I lead the lobby in final hits. I out DPS 4 of the DPS, and I out heal everyone but their Mantis. And look, I didn't die. I was on the point. I was getting kills, I was doing damage, and I'm healing and keeping the team alive. And there's just, if you want to win, no better thing to do right now than to do this.